Hi there, Eric Fitzgerald here. I wanted to talk a little bit and do a follow-up to the Big Beautiful Bill presentation that I did a week or so ago. In that one, I talked about how you can buy real estate, use a cost segregation study to move forward a lot of your paper losses into the current year, and then take bonus depreciation and to recover somewhere around 25% of the building's value in tax savings. The other piece to that, and those are all tax savings in the short term, because ultimately those tax savings get rolled up into the building. And so if you were to ever sell the building, you would be responsible to recoup those costs and recapture those costs. There is a trick though, and that is in real estate, you can do what's called a 1031 exchange, and that's for IRS code 1031. And while I'm saying things about the IRS and everyone else, I just want to remind you I'm not an accountant, I'm not a tax attorney, I'm not an attorney. I am a licensed real estate agent, but I'm not your real estate agent, attorney, or accountant. So get good advice on this. But to get you started on what the right questions and the right way to think about this is the purpose of my video here. And so, in helping with that education, I want to talk about the 1031 exchange. I am doing a 1031 exchange. I just sold a property, a duplex that we've owned for, I don't know, a good while. Um, and we just sold that yesterday. We closed on it. And what I did is I hired a company of 5, 6 weeks ago. I hired a company for about $1,000. They set up a trust, which is a 1031 exchange mechanism. And so when we sold this property yesterday, I took all the profits and I never touched them. They went straight from the closing table right to this trust and to this third party company that we've hired. That company then holds the money in trust. And then as soon as I find a replacement property that I want to buy to replace that investment property that we just sold, um, they will write the check from that trust to purchase the new property. And so I have never taken personal possession or title of the money, and therefore I am not responsible for any capital gains taxes as long as I do it this right way through a 1031 exchange company. And so what that does is it allows me to move the tax liabilities that I've rolled into the first property. I get to defer them up to a second property and basically redo the process, restart the process of doing a cost segregation study, and then taking all the bonus depreciation that's uncovered in that study and applying it to my tax situation for this year. And then from that, I can basically um, kind of squeeze the juice again on a new building. And then once I've done that, now I have all the tax liabilities from the first building and now the second building are in one place. And if I were to sell it, then I would have to pay those taxes. I'm not around taxes, I'm just deferring them, kicking them down the road. And the way that I can get away from that is either to pay that tax. If I were to sell that building, I'd have to pay the taxes owed, or I can die. And I'm saying that kind of tongue in cheek, but it is very much a strategy of the wealthy to defer taxes in this way, and then ultimately, when you die, your cost basis for the property you leave to your heirs resets to zero. And so what that means is if I've rolled a bunch of liabilities, tax liabilities into a property, those tax liabilities are basically only while I own the property. If I leave them to an heir, then the cost basis of that property resets to whatever its value is the day that I pass. And my heirs are not accountable to my past tax liabilities that I had rolled into that building. So, in other words, there is a way to get out of taxes, and it's to die. And this is one of the only places where that's even true, because usually when you die, you still owe taxes. But on real estate, there is a way to basically reset that basis for your heirs. So that's a 1031 exchange. I'm doing it now. There's some rules around it, but it's fairly easy to operate if you have a good real estate agent and accountant and trust company that know what they're doing. It's a great way for you to, one, keep operating that tax, using the tax system to your advantage, but also the big purpose is for you to keep buying bigger and bigger buildings and trading the ability for you to trade up over time. So there's a ladder, the real estate ladder, and it's pretty awesome if you know what you're doing to operate that ladder. And a 1031 exchange is a key part of it. So happy to share more information. Obviously, get good advice from a lawyer, an accountant, a real estate agent. All those folks can help you. But and this only applies to investment property. For personal property, there's a whole different piece that the Big Beautiful Bill added, which is it expanded the tax free part of profit on a personal home. So totally different topic, but kind of sounds the same. Anyway, thank you so much for your time, and let me know if I can help you. Bye bye.